you're 18 years old and you do not have a credit card, why? Why would you not have a credit card? Seriously, the power that it has as a financial tool is sometimes overly underrated. And you might be here, might be thinking, oh, but the credit card is gonna end up taking my money away. Oh, it's just gonna end up making me spend more. I will say there is a tiny bit of truth to this. Credit card companies are actually making the world more expensive, whether you like it or not. And what do I mean by that? Well, when you actually use a credit card for a transaction, the merchant, or aka the seller, actually needs to pay a fee. That fee could hover between 1% to 3% of the sale. And that is significant for sure. And you might be thinking, how does it make it more expensive for us? Because, well, we're the customers, right? The merchants can pay. So what? I don't care. Well, you do care, because the thing is that merchants need to make money. And so for them to make money, you need to make sure to keep their profits. And so what they will do to offset these fees and these costs, they will make sure that the products cost higher, right? Because essentially what you end up having here is a credit card is the middleman between the transaction. And of course, if you're a middleman, you will want to have part of the pie, right? And basics for a transaction here, the less people that are part of the transaction, the better it is for end users. If there are too many middlemen that end up participating in the transaction, then it's just going to make it more expensive for the customers. I think it's more important to know how to play the game instead of complain. So the best way to play the game here is to get yourself a credit card. And well, just telling you this right away, getting a credit card is so easy. Sometimes it can take like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, just get a credit card. You put your first name, put your last name, you put your information and all that. You send a request, get a credit card, give it a couple of weeks, and boom, here we go. You got a credit card shipped to your mail. So already in terms of effort, you should already know that it requires no effort to actually get a credit card. For the majority of people, it should not be a hurdle for you to get a credit card right now. And so now you might be wondering, why in the hell would I need a credit card? Why do I want a credit card? So number one is cashback. Cashback is a pretty big one. Imagine yourself, you're spending about 30K worth of items every single year. What if I tell you that you can literally get $300 to $500 free just because you spent that much money? The idea of cashback is that whenever you spend a certain amount, you get a certain percentage back. And you can reuse that percentage to buy more things using that credit card. And you can see that could be really advantageous if you're buying a lot of stuff every single year. Now, the cashback isn't crazy. Sometimes we're talking about a cashback worth of like 1%, 2%, 3%. It's not much in the grand scheme of things compared to the other things you should be focused on. But it's a sort of a thing where you set it and you forget it, and you sort of just let the money roll in as you keep doing your normal things. So think about it. It's free money. Don't even hesitate to get a credit card that has a pretty good cashback that caters to your needs. When you go credit card shopping, understand the kind of stuff that you usually get. Like if you spend a lot of money on gas, if you spend a lot of money on groceries, then you might want to get a credit card that actually benefits more your kinds of spending. Because usually what you have in credit cards is you'll have certain cashbacks depending on the category that you purchase. So for example, you can get a credit card where if you spend on groceries or gas, you'll get 5% versus everything else is 1% to 2%, something like that. A lot of it has categories. So there's a lot of categories to go through. And I will tell you this right away. If you're a type of guy that spends a lot of time shopping online, try to get a credit card that has a high cashback with just general purpose items. So basically non-specific category things. Take your time, maybe take an hour or two just to look around to see what credit cards are available on your region and select the best one, and then there we go. Now, the second reason you probably want a credit card is because of purchase protection. A lot of people don't know about this, but a lot of credit card companies actually offer a lot more services than simple cashback. So, purchase protection, what does that mean exactly? So let's say, for example, you buy something from a merchant, right? And something ends up not going right with the product or the service or whatever. You try to dispute it to the merchant, but the merchant doesn't do anything about it, doesn't respond, and you feel like you're stuck and you feel like you wasted your money. Well, the credit card company actually has your back and can actually refund you the money if you have a valid cause. If you pay money by cash and the transaction goes through, there's not much protection. There's not much ways that you can actually protect yourself from a transaction. And you want to make sure you protect yourself. You want to make sure you keep your money protected. You know, you've worked pretty hard for that money, and the last thing you'd want is you want to be scammed or to have a deal that does not work at all at your favor. And the third reason you don't want to have a credit card is because of the credit score. You want to improve that credit score as much as possible. One day you want to buy something that requires you to lend money eventually. Maybe you want to have a mortgage to buy a home. Maybe you want to have a mortgage to buy a car. The thing is, the credit score can really dictate the kind of power you can have on lending money. Lending money can be a really powerful tool in your disposal. For the majority of people, I know you cannot just buy a home like that with the cash you have. So sometimes you need to buy a mortgage, right? The thing is, the mortgage that is attributed to you, or the cost of the mortgage, can heavily depend on your credit score. If you have a low credit score, then unfortunately not a lot of creditors would be willing to give you the money. They see you as a high risk customer. They want to make sure that you can pay back that money, and the only way you can show this is through credit history. If you've never had a credit card, if you've always used cash, they will assume the worst and think that, well, this guy doesn't know how to use money, so why would we want to borrow him money? So just use the credit card. Get a credit card as fast as possible so that you can start racking up those scores. And I will tell you this right now, there's a lot of ways to rack up your credit score, and I will make this in a separate video. But for now, just get a credit card as soon as possible, just so you can rack up that score. So please, I really hope that I convinced you at this point for you to actually get a credit card. It's so important for you to get it. And if you're young, if you're too young and you're listening to this video, well, congratulations for you. You're already ahead of the game. And I hope one day when you're 18 years old, you'll get a credit card without hesitation, because it's so important for you to get it. Trust me. I'm not a fan of how most credit card companies, what exactly the kind of service they provide. I am not a super big advocate fan, but I will say this, you gotta play the game. Don't complain about it, just play the game. But I think that's it for me, everybody. Please log off this video right now. Get off this platform right now and actually go get a credit card. Go get a credit card. Do not hesitate. It takes 10 minutes. Doesn't take that much time. Select the credit card. Select any credit card. And just go on ahead and purchase one. Just go ahead and do it. Like, seriously. If you can do it, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Why are you still here in this video? Just go ahead and do it. Oh my god. Seriously though, you got this. You should not be hesitating. I know it can feel like a pretty daunting task for you to do it because it's kind of unknown, but educate yourself. Take the time to actually look into this some more if you want to, and actually go on ahead and get a credit card. Okay? That's it for me, everybody. Take good care of yourselves, and remember, keep your life exciting.